Okay, traders, I am going to show you how to create a scan. I'm going to do some basic scans, maybe two, and maybe it'll lead you in the right direction on creating scans. So the first thing you want to do is click the Scan tab. And we want to create a new scan, so you click these three bars, Load Scan Query, and create a scan query. And this window is going to pop up. So let's just name this what you would name it whatever you want. Let's just say you wanted to create a scan where the 5 moving average crosses above the 13. And you want to find all of the stocks that are doing that. So let's call this 5 crosses 13. We'll just keep it basic. And if you move your mouse right here, you'll see your mouse change to that. You can pull it down. I always use mark as my price, so I'm going to select mark. And these are just examples. You put the price ranges you want. I'm just going to say $1 to $30. And you hit enter. The volume, let's just say, for instance, we want good volume. Let's just say 1 million for now. There's 1 million shares traded. You don't have to do a max. This one you can probably delete. So we want to add a filter. This is where your moving averages come in. And you want to create a study. So here's the study line. You can see these two were stock. So click this ADX crossover. Well, why won't it let me pull it up? It probably won't let, there we go. I had it too far down. So you click the ADX crossover and click custom. And this window is going to pop up. So you're going to have the ADX crossover already in here. You can delete it. So we're going to add a condition. So let's say you want the exponential moving average 5 to cross above the 13. So you would click study, and up here you want exponential, so you're going to type EXP. There's exponential, and you click it, and here is this is exponential 9. You want to bring this down to 5. That's the length. And then you want to tell it crosses above. And over here, you need to do the same thing you did over here, but for the 13 on this side. So you would click here and study, EXP for exponential. Now, here's the length. We want it to be the 13. Click save. And you can look at it right here. Moving average length 5. Exponential crosses above the moving average exponential 13. You can also view it in the code right here. If you can read that, it says the same thing. Then you click OK and save it. And this is not your scan. Now you have to go get the new scan you created. So you're going to click these three bars, load personal, and we called it 5 crosses 13. So now we are in that scan and the volume didn't save. Let's go back and put the volume in, 1 million. That's 1 million. So we also need to adjust our time frame. So do you want this crossover to happen in the next minute? Do you want it to happen in the next 5 minutes? Let's just go a minute. And then let's click the scan button. So these would be the stocks that these two moving averages are crossing. The 5 is crossing above the 13, and these are the stocks. So click these three bars. Since you're finished with your scan, save the scan query. And we already named it at the beginning. It's 5 and 13, and click save and OK. So now that we've created this scan, if you set up your Market Watch tab, as I've showed in other videos, you can click the Market Watch tab, click the 3 green arrows, personal, and here's that 5 and 13 that we created. So you can sort them by volume, sort them by percent change, sort them by volume spike. however you want to view them. So let's see ASX chart. It's on 1 minute. We had a crossover. We're probably a little late because I'm talking, but there's a crossover. Let's go to the next one. There's the crossover. So it's going to let you know immediately when the crossover occurs. There's a crossover. It didn't hold though. That sometimes they don't hold. There's a crossover. So that's the basics of how to do a crossover. And let's see, if you want to do another scan, let me see what would be a good one to do. Let's create a new scan. I'm just going to call it test. You call it whatever you're building. So test -1. And at this point, you can really save it just by naming it and then going up here and going to your, click these 3 bars, load personal, and we called it test 1. So now we're actually in that scan before we even set it up. So I'm going to select mark, and our price was $1 to $30, so $1 and $30. Hit enter. The volume, let's just leave it at 1,000,000. You can put whatever you want there. And this percent change can go away, or you can add as many things as you want. You click this add filter. If it's stock related, you can click that and select anything: bid, ask, close, earnings per share, market cap. So you really only have 2 selections. Well, you have more than that, but we only use 2. You're either going to use stock or study. The study is where you want moving averages and stuff. The stock is where you want prices, volume, PE, that kind of stuff. So let me delete one of these. Let's see what kind of study we can make. So that's a stock. I'm going to delete it. I need a study because I want to do some other kind of special scan. And you click the crossover and custom. And this window is going to pop up. We delete this one. We add a condition. Let's see what kind of conditions we have. So we go to study, and we can look down the list of what we're trying to find. So let's say we want, let me find something that's quite easy for you. You can dig in deeper later. So let's say the market forecast tool. Let's use one of ThinkScripts. So the market forecast tool, I'm going to type in market. And I'm going to look in the list. There's the market forecast tool. And I know from the tool that there's 3 lines in this market forecast tool, and we only use the intermediate. And I'll show you that in a minute. So we want the intermediate line to be crossing above 20. So crosses above the value of 20. This one's a little bit difficult for you probably, so we're going to save it. So the market forecast intermediate crosses above 20. So now let me go show you what I've done. So on the chart, let's add the market forecast tool. So market, look for market forecast tool. It's right here. And within the market forecast tool, you need to know about this indicator if you're going to build a study against it. So if you click this gear icon, you're going to see there's 3 lines in this indicator. We only use the intermediate one, so you can uncheck this one. It says show plot. We don't want to show the plot, and we don't want to show the plot on this one. But we do want to show the plot on the intermediate. Let's make it a little thicker. And it's going to pop in down here. So if you stretch it up, you're going to see that 20 that I was targeting. So we want every stock when this market forecast intermediate line crosses above 20. So let's go to that scan. Let's make sure I saved it. Save scan query. It was test 1. Let's do a scan. We can also change the time. Let's do for 1 minute so we can find it right away. Waiting on it to click in. There it goes. Scan. So these are all of the ones where the market forecast tool line, the intermediate line, is crossing above 20. I'm going to save it now that I'm finished with it. And we're going to go to the Market Watch tab. We're going to do the test 1. And these are those stocks where the market forecast tool has just crossed 20 right here. And this one has just crossed 20. They're all going to be right here where the market forecast intermediate is crossing 20. And I believe I already have that scan created over in TOS scans. But this is the basics. So if you want to create a study with an indicator, you need to first load that indicator to your chart and go to Edit Studies and click this gear icon and see how this indicator works, and then build your study across whichever lines you need to build it across. Anyway, that's the build a scan basics. You can get very technical in your scans, but I'm not going to do that in this video. This is the basics of how to build a scan. Thank you for joining and watching. God bless.